much for coming to my MA exhibition today. Hope you've enjoyed the cakes.
Hi, I use music convergence a lot. One of the major ways is I made a website to be used for the school radio, and it incorporates both sounds, as you can see at the bottom. It's not working at the moment, but that uses a cloud storage device, which is a storage device based on the internet. I also use it a lot through WordPress, which a lot of our lessons are based on media and radio. We have to do blogs for the actual coursework, so the teachers and the examiners can see how we've learned, what we've learned, and when we've learned it.
In fact, it can be quite daunting, particularly for those that don't use a lot of convergence within their lessons. However, if technology and media platforms are facilitated correctly, that is, the teacher knows the limitations of them, they know the purpose of them, they can be exciting, they can reduce workload, and they can engage our students. Okay, what I'd like you to do before I go through this slide is on the pieces of paper in front of you, the large ones, the A3 ones, could you just consider how you use different media platforms? Okay? And what you use them for already? Yes, because there's a VLE. Table 1. Could you tell me some platforms that you use, whether it's at school or at home, and why?
I guess I'm speaking.
Yes.
So, well, at home and also in dance as well, we use a lot of, say, like YouTube, and we've uploaded some of our videos onto YouTube, and also those blogging pages that you were talking about with WordPress. Some of the dance students have been working with blogging pages and in media as well. Generally for research as well, they can upload their research and add links into, for example, their WordPress pages, which directs them to other research that they found online.
Yes, and to add to that.
We sort of focused more on home, didn't we, really?
Yeah.
To access school.
We sort of do a lot of social networking through your phones and stuff. We look more at apps that we would use on our phones and things.
But I've just kind of considered how in school that you might use it basically. So you might use it to present information or to reflect on learning. And you might do it by using different platforms such as cloud computing. I found that in my lessons, by using some of this media convergence, that's allowed my students to be far more engaged. And kind of most importantly, it's allowed them to consider their own learning style rather than what I think is best for them. What I'd like you to now do, on the back of your piece of paper on another one, is consider how in fact you would like to use media convergence in school, but not able to, again, because of time, because the internet's restricted. I want to see the comparison between the two. How would you like to use it? What actually would you like to have in the classroom?
I think that, as we were saying over here, that pretty much all the students have the technology. They bought it themselves. We should be making stuff to effectively utilise, as you were saying over here, utilise what they've got already. So things like these audio booths and stuff, the students should be able to just use their phones and then do it, and then it all appears. But I think we concentrate a little too much sometimes on what we haven't got rather than what we do have. I think there's often many shortcuts around.
Absolutely.
Getting around.
It is about, because there's been a huge amount of training with the year 7 and 8 in terms of use of laptops and things, and they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And they're trained up to respect. There's very, very little problems because they belong to them.
I think ownership is the key, though.
It is, but that's why I'm saying if it is their own equipment, they have to learn to use it responsibly.
Yeah.
And that's the training that we need to put in place.
Which brings us on to student-focused learning. Just to clarify, what I mean by student-focused learning, that's where students lead their own learning through planning, preparation, delivery, reflection and adaptation. For example, in my iMedia lessons, I give each individual student a topic. They go away, they plan it, they prepare it, they deliver it to the class, they provide activities, they do question and answer sessions, and then I get them to reflect on it. Even for the students that are disengaged and particularly shy, it's amazing how they want to see each other succeed, and and therefore happy to collaborate. However, I do realise that there are limitations, potential ones anyway. For example, the pace of learning might be slower. We've all got quite a lot of content to get through. And if you leave it up to the students to teach their own lessons, it might not be exactly how you want it to be. But once the students get used to it, and they do, it's just a different style, I found, in fact, that the understanding is deeper, the retention is better, and that obviously impacts upon attainment. Which leads me to linking media convergence and student-focused learning. The average student thinks very differently to how I think anyway. They're non-linear thinkers. By that I mean they can pick things out of nowhere and make links that are unfathomable to everybody else.
What you said about them being non-linear thinkers?
Yes.
I find that quite difficult to link into the fact that we consider they have difficulty in transference of skills. So which is supposed to be abstract to them.
Absolutely.
And yet you're saying they're abstract thinkers.
Yes, I am saying they're abstract thinkers, but maybe not in that way, because they often use it through media platforms in order to transfer skills. So if you ask them to do something with a specific platform, they'd be able to take it anywhere. At least that's what I found in my media lessons, in different aspects of. But if you ask them to do something, transfer it from a basic science to maths, a basic skill, they're lost. At the moment, it tends to be quite individual, so the learning often is individual. It tends to be teacher-led, and it's typically one style of learning. By that, I mean it's the style that we deem most appropriate for students. But if you share your work and it's collaborated on and participated on, I think that's where Education 2.0, the future of education, really lies. I went to a workshop with Jill and Annetta, and we met a very, very typically American, critically acclaimed, internationally acclaimed speaker that stated, "Today's students are no longer the people our education system was designed to teach." And I think I actually agree with him, and that we kind of need to consider as teachers our role of the future and how, one, it's changed from where we first started off, and two, where it's going. I see myself as a facilitator of education rather than a teacher. Probably shouldn't say that with Jill and John in the room.
But that also supports the theory that students are the best teachers.